Let's be real, the last 5 years went by in the space of about 2, and so there's lots of features that have been added to Minecraft, and if you or a friend haven't been playing, this is the guide to get you up to speed. And so here are all of the updates that came out. Excluding the current one, there were 6 major updates, and across them they had 13 new mobs, 10 new biomes, 7 new music discs, 5 structures, 5 wood types, 2 new enchantments, oh, and also 365 new blocks and items. It would take you a full year to learn about each of these at one a day, and so instead I took inspiration from a video I made 5 years ago showing the 14 great features that had come since 2014, and so here are the most interesting 19 features since 2019. With that said, let's start with ancient cities. These are subterranean horrors found underneath mountains, and they are absolutely mind-blowing in terms of scale, in terms of challenge, and in terms of potential rewards. There is so much that this place can offer, including a brand new form of wireless redstone. Ancient cities are single-handedly the biggest feature that have come out in the last 5 years, and so now that you know about these, you'll know exactly how to avoid them, or I'll be honest, some of you are going to want to charge there for your first challenge. Just a warning, you won't kill the warden though. Speaking of not killing the warden, this is exactly what you shouldn't do to your piglins, because these are enemies that will come after you if you're not wearing gold, but if you put a piece of gold on, you can actually then trade some extra gold ingots with them. If you give them gold ingots, they'll give you any one of these items back. It's entirely random, but it's worth trading until you get fire resistance or ender pearls. In fact, ender pearls are so effectively obtained from piglins that it's more effective to trade with piglins than to kill endermen. Almost all major speedrunning routes do this, and I think that's pretty funny personally. Also, it's worth noting when looking at this same table, you might have noticed this G only and B only. The reason that that is there is because there are some features which are only on the Java edition, the JE if you will, and if you're playing Bedrock, there is the BE. These have slightly different features, and it's worth knowing which one you play. So if your Minecraft just says Minecraft, you're playing Bedrock. This is cross-platform and available on basically everything, and if it says Java edition, then I think your work is cut out for you. But this is something important that is becoming increasingly less so because they're doing better with parity between features, but it is worth knowing that a lot of things will change very slightly, but something that is the same across both platforms is better lighting. If you played Minecraft, I can't believe we all used to do this. You used to have to place torches so frequently to prevent mob spawning, and this is because mobs would spawn anywhere above light level 7, and torches would give you light level 14. In other words, mobs would be able to spawn 8 blocks away from a torch, which just didn't feel right, and so when Minecraft was working on better caves, they decided to make better lighting, and it means that anywhere there is any amount of light, like level 1 will do, you will now not have mobs spawning there, which is just wonderful. But even more wonderful is the reason they had to introduce this, because like I said, they made better caves as a part of the Caves and Cliffs update. In fact, it was such an important update, they made it twice. That's not the real reason. Don't look into the actual reason they decided to split it into 2, but instead look at this beautiful cave. This might seem like it's special in some way because look at all of the diamonds, but nope, this is a random cave from a random Minecraft seed. There are lots of fun variants though. Sometimes you'll find beautiful lush caves, or you'll find the deep darks that contain those ancient cities from before, and sometimes you'll just be digging down from your desert temple and you'll find yourself in a whole new world by doubling the size of the Minecraft cave world by going from not just -0 but down to -64. Minecraft has massively increased the size of the game, which actually requires you to go into a cave. It is something which is beautiful and something that has to be seen to really be truly appreciated, but I really want to make sure that you go into one of these at some point. If someone has told you to mine at Y11, they are doing you a disservice. Not only will you not find diamonds there, but you'll also miss out on the entire Deepslate Layer, something which you need to go and check out. Speaking of checking out, something you need to check out is bamboo. This spawns in jungles, either in its own dedicated bamboo forest biome or randomly across the rest of it, and this is one of the most fun things to farm. Seriously, forget everything you know, even sugarcane, which is so delightful to farm by itself, is something that is outdone by bamboo because this is so easily farmed. You place it down, you leave it, and a few seconds later it will come back as more bamboo, but also can be turned not just into sticks directly, but also into blocks of bamboo, which then can be turned into wood to make yourself stairs, slabs, trapdoors, all of the other things that you want to. This is really, really wonderful by itself, but honestly, if you just like the farming aspect of Minecraft, this is one of the more delightful things to farm. I took 9 blocks and put them down here literally 65 seconds ago, and now they've already all grown up. And another thing to keep in mind if you do want to farm this is one of the weird aspects of this, which is that if you are to break bamboo, you can do it instantly using a sword, unless it is just thrown like this, in which case it won't work at all. Honestly, bamboo is filled with weird inconsistencies inconsistencies, and it's one of the oddest parts of this game, but even if you don't care about farming it, coming to a jungle means that you can get your hands on a brand new type of funky wood. Which is the third type for the jungle, by the way. You're spoiled for choice here. Speaking of places where you're spoiled for choice for funky wood, because as part of the Nether update, Minecraft brought 4 brand new Nether biomes, and one of these is the Crimson Forest. This is by far the best Nether biome, and whenever you go through that portal, you just need to know to avoid the soul sand and avoid the basalt delta. Those will make themselves very clear to you with the advent of huge ghast attacks, but in the Crimson Forest, you won't find any ghast, which is nice enough by itself. One of the biggest pests of the Nether is gone here, but also you can find food, and also you can find wood. All 3 of these things make this a biome that you could actually survive in, and one of the great things about it is that you actually can. Something else that you actually can do now is craft a stone pickaxe or a furnace without having any cobblestone. That's because there are 2 new cobblestone variants. One of these is called Blackstone and found exclusively in the Nether, and the other is called Deepslate, found exclusively below Y0. As part of that cave update, lots and lots of Deepslate exists, which is slightly harder to mine, and Blackstone exists in the Nether just in case you need craft stone tools without going back to the overworld. These can be used to craft more or less every single cobblestone recipe, and they are very handy if you happen to be in one of these places wanting to do precisely that. Otherwise, they are a whole brand new set of Blackstone block pallets, and they are very handy to make beautiful things, or just cover mountains if you're me. Anyway, if you're curious as to why I have so much Deepslate, it's because it generates below Y0, like I mentioned before, and specifically any worlds from before 1.17 and 1.18 will actually convert upon loading up, so keep that in mind. You have a whole new world underneath your world. This is the first time that Minecraft has ever broken their golden rule of actually only applying new updates to new chunks, but it means that you can find lots of things underneath your worlds, even if they're 12 years old like mine. So I dug down below my sugarcane farm. This is something which used to go all the way from Y0 to sky height, but now it goes from Y-64 to the new sky height, which by the way is Y320. It used to be 256, but now it's 320, and that is 384 blocks of height between these two, which both means I had to make a very tall sugarcane farm here, but also it means that it's tripled the release height limit. So if you played an early version of Java Edition, Bedrock Edition, or indeed the console edition, keep in mind that the height limit has tripled since their release. Speaking of that, one of the things they had to do while increasing the world height was give in brand new, higher, taller biomes. After looking at these biomes, I think you'll agree that it's hilarious we ever used to call this a mountain, but yeah, I don't think I could ever call a jagged peak one of my favorite features, especially not one of my favorite features in the last 5 years, so instead the 10th best for this list is a Cherry Grove biome. I think the Cherry Grove is beautiful, and it contains another new type of wood. Seriously, there are so many new blocks, and a lot of these come from all of the new types of woods, which is really great if you're the type of builder who loves phrases like pallets, and you love the idea of making things slowly gradient across each other. This is something which is very fashionable in modern day Minecraft building, but also keep in mind that you can build anything you want. As an important aside here, there is always like a meta to how you play a given game, but the beautiful thing about Minecraft is you don't really need to know that. You can pick up some handy tips about how to play the game better in certain PvE situations, and you can learn about goals that you can aim for and all that sort of stuff, but no one can tell you that what you're building is bad. No one can say you have to watch this building tutorial first, and that's something I want to impart in this video, if nothing else. But another thing I want to impart is that chest boats are actually pretty good. I honestly I thought they were such a silly idea when they first came out, but they're really great for moving stuff between continents because they are effectively a 2x2 chest that can move. This makes it also very useful for redstone, and also never forget what they took away from you because you can't fit horses and boats anymore, and that makes the chest boat an extra viable alternative. Although for real, you might literally not know that they actually stopped lots of mobs from fitting in boats. This happened over the last few years, and so boat mechanics might have changed since you last played Minecraft, something to just keep in mind. Something else to keep in mind is that the Nether has also changed since you last played Minecraft. Obviously, an entire Nether update means that when you get there, it's drastically different, but the way you get there can be too, because a ruined portal is a brand new structure that spawns in both the overworld and the Nether and allows for easy hopping between the dimensions. This is meant to be a partially built portal to remind you can build the rest, but some of these come with enough obsidian in the chest that you can immediately hop into that dimension, and these chests can have insane loot on top of that, which means that when you find one of these ruined portals, you should be immediately beelining for it, just in case it gives you golden carrots, some enchanted armor, or even an enchanted pickaxe. The reason that such powerful loot exists in Minecraft has always officially been that that was left by someone who built it a long time ago. This is one of the fun theories of Minecraft, but it's recently become partially fact because archaeology was added to the game, and this allows you to unearth hidden secrets of your world. This allows you to see your world's past through the pottery sherds you uncover, the items that you find, and now the desert wells finally have a use after a decade of worthlessness. Seriously though, archaeology is usually worth trying because the brush is fairly cheap to craft, and once you have one, you can find diamonds, emeralds, TNT, and even the only access point for the sniffer. This is a dinosaur in modern Minecraft. What's not to like? Speaking of things that you might not like, the soul fire is a brand new type of fire that's like regular fire, but it's blue and it's got souls in it, and this is really cool, and if you don't appreciate it, then I don't appreciate you. But you should know that soul sand technically has a whole separate use, as well as I mentioned now, something very important. But something else that's very important is that there are 5 features left to go in our list, so I figured we could do a top 5. But first, since not everything boils down to just new features, here are some other big announcements that have happened over the last 5 years, because there have been a lot of changes, such as the discontinuation of Minecraft PlayStation 4. 4J Studios exited not only the creation of Minecraft Console Edition, but also the world creation for Minecraft Bedrock 2. They are working on a competitor game right now, and we're looking forward to seeing that at some point. Also, emotes have been added to Minecraft. Updates have reached parity in terms of numbering, so no matter what the update is, it will be called the same version number on Java or Bedrock. It just might have a 0 at the end for one of those. Minecraft is on Games Pass, so if you have that, you can play it for free. Don't bother purchasing another copy of the game because that's great. Add-ons are now purchasable, which is something that might be wonderful if you play Minecraft Bedrock. If you are on a console, you can now access lots of mods, but if you have to pay for them. Also, deferred rendering is possible in previews. This is one of the most beautiful, you could describe it as shaders, but it's not quite accurate. Instead, it is a set of shaders that Minecraft is building into the game that you can tweak the settings for. This leads to some beautiful scenarios. Spectator mode has been added to Bedrock, so you can experience some of those, alongside hardcore and a day counter, although hardcore will be coming a little bit later than this video, but if this video is over a month or 2 old, hardcore mode is in Minecraft. Also, Mojang hired the guy from the Aether mod. His name is King B Dogs, and he's one of the most passionate and communicative Minecraft developers, so it's a big plus for the team, which by the way is much bigger in general. I'm just naming one particular hire. Also, Minecon is going to go physical again. A few years ago, they decided to go digital only. Minecon 2016 was the last one, but there is going to be a Minecraft festival, but they chose 2020 as the inaugural year, and well, long story short, looking forward to 2025's Mine Festival if they come back to it. But now we can go into the top 5. What are the 5 best features that have come out over the last 5 years? Well, this is a fun question because the 5th best one is one I have to admit is going to be loved by everyone: wolf colors. Before, cats looked like this, they look like this, and now dogs don't look like this because they look like this. This was all due to the game's artist, Sarah Bovink, so massive appreciation to her. This was a big buff to what was otherwise just going to be an armadillo and wolf farm update, and honestly, it has changed a lot about the game, just like how Swift Sneak has crazy changed the way sneaking works. Seriously, it used to be this slow all of the time everywhere, but now we have Swift Sneak. It's much faster. This is found in the Ancient City, and interestingly enough, it is the only legging-specific enchantment that Minecraft has right now, so keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that raw ore exists. This was a fairly small change on the surface of it. I mean, sure, being able to mine a block and get the raw ore, it seems like extra work compared to just getting the ore block, but you can use this to make raw iron, copper, and gold blocks, or you can use fortune on iron, and it means that you'll be able to get extra iron, gold, or copper. What a wonderful change that is, in my opinion. Speaking of wonderful changes, Bastion Remnants are one of the most fun structures. Every time I'm playing Minecraft for a brand new world purpose, one of the scariest and most tense, but also most enjoyable times will come down to these. It is a great way to get ender pearls, like I mentioned before, from trading with the Piglins, but it's also some of the best loot in Minecraft if you're willing to deal with some of the scariest mobs in the form of the Piglin brutes. It'll probably go well for you. Just give it a try. Maybe make a chest to store your stuff in, not because you're in any danger, but just, for fun. It's always good to make a storage room. But you know what else is always good? The #1 feature of the last 5 years, and this is a crazy one to say, because I do think that there are lots of individual things you could point out. I think that if 1.21 is going to be included in this conversation, then you might be able to say the Trowel Chambers, but I'm being very cautious about saying that something is the best before it is really cemented. I think some of these features were ones that you would have thought nothing of and then later became much more important, and I think that lots of the things that we thought of as important are kind of forgotten about now. But I won't keep you waiting any longer. I think that the best feature of the last 5 years is the new ore generation, which sounds pretty wild. wild. I briefly mentioned this before, that you shouldn't mine at Y11, and that sounds like a bad thing, right? But the reason I love the new ore generation is they basically made it so everywhere in Minecraft has its niche. If you want to look for any given ore, there is a perfectly right place to do so, and so for example with coal, the best place to find it is up in the mountains. This is also true for emeralds and slightly true for iron, which is also greatly found at Y16 underground. But if you want to find diamonds, they're just found best off low down. There's none of this nonsense about mine at Y-11 because it's better than -12. The best diamonds are found at Y-64, and the only reason to mine higher is because you can't mine through Bedrock, and then also because of the fact that there's lava, but you get to make these decisions and learn these things yourself. I think simple gradients are much better than the weird gobbledygook system we had before, and as someone who loves the mine part of Minecraft, this is the best change. But I would like to know, what do you think is the best feature of the last 5 years? And if this video has helped you, please do let me know. I love to teach people about Minecraft, and the comments that say that I've gotten someone back into the game is one of the things that made me create this video in the first place. So if you want to feed me, you can do it emotionally that way, or you can do it spiritually by subscribing. It makes the number go up, or you can consider becoming a member to support the channel in that way. It is something I always appreciate, but what I appreciate more than any of that is thinking about Minecraft as the years go by. It celebrates its 15-year anniversary recently, and I have no reason to believe that it won't celebrate another 15 years, so I look forward to seeing you for all of those. Man, I'll be old in 15 years, but I'll still be making Minecraft videos, hopefully. I'm just kidding. I imagine things will go crazy by then, but I look forward to trying my very best with you. Goodbye.